Welcome to Exploration Radio, a podcast on the past, present, and the future of exploration. This is a recap of the third episode in our podcast series, the discovery story of a deposit called Reko in southwest Pakistan. Here are the best moments from that episode. Hope you enjoy them.
So what brought about the move to Australia?
Well, I was a bit involved in politics. Actually, no, a little bit more than a bit. I was never comfortable in South Africa. It was always I was born there. My father started his life there as a missionary, but I never really fitted in with the socio-economic and political, particularly the racial views. I had a friend who's classified as coloured because they had funny classifications. And I would forever be putting my foot in it. I'd say, Chris, let's go down to the beach. And he'd say, which one? Because there were black beaches and white beaches, you see. And I thought, I'm sorry, Chris. It wasn't a good time.
I mean, that's fascinating. I think that would have been a fascinating time to grow up.
One way to describe it.
Yeah. At this trade mission is the time that you met Saad, is that right?
Yeah, well, actually, he met me because somehow the word got out there was this trade mission, and I had a stream of people coming to the hotel or wherever the meetings were held, looking to see if there was the possibility of a job with whatever was going to develop out of Australia. And Saad was one of this crowd.
That's true.
That is Saad Husain, my uncle, and the second person involved in this story.
We met actually at dinner. I think it was a round table kind of a thing, and just by coincidence you were sitting next to me, and I guess we just started talking. At that time I had no idea that you were looking for people, and so we got on into this conversation, and then I recall you saying, well, why don't you come over and see me if you're interested in changing jobs or something. And I said, sure, yeah, why not? Like in Pakistan, they say कि देखने के कोई पैसे नहीं हैं. There's no money involved in seeing, you know. So I said, well, I'll come and see you. And obviously, it was a fantastic opportunity.
Alan, how important was it for you to find someone local?
I have a philosophy that, if you're working in Pakistan, it's a very good idea to have a Pakistani teaching you how to operate. And if I'm working in China, it'd be good to have a Chinese person. And if you're working in Australia, it's probably good to have somebody who's familiar with Australia.
Do you think management often struggles with this concept about local control or local representation?
It depends on the management. The situation in BHP Utah at the time, I don't think management really struggled with it in particular, but they were still very focused on we run the program. It became worse at the end when they appointed an English guy to take over the South Asia thing. There was obviously a conflict with me. Maybe I was too blunt or something. And they said, no, you've got to go and live in India and be the boss and tell people what to do. And I said, well, I'd much rather run India the same way as Pakistan, where we have a really competent person and you just sit in the background and put forward what BHP wants and they can get the jobs running. Just like we worked in Pakistan. I thought it worked pretty well, don't you, Saad?
Oh, absolutely, Alan. I mean, there's no two questions about that. And I think it's not just local presence, it's also the fact that you yourself actually significantly contributed by playing the lead role in understanding the technical side of the project. The local stuff was just as a support function of the main program. And Alan, I mean, hats off, you did a tremendous job. I think this combination worked, and I think we got along exceptionally well together in more ways than just professional. I think we are still very close, as you know. So it worked out very well, and I think that this combination is actually essential for any new exploration program in any new country at a grassroots level. And it's unfortunate that managements do not perceive the importance of this combination.
I can't see how I could have achieved half of what we did without Saad.
How much do you think the way you behave helped you acclimatize to the locals?
I don't know if I can answer that because I can only see it from my perspective rather than interpret it from someone else's. Saad might be a better person to answer that.
Yeah, I'd like to say something on that. I think one of the significantly strong qualities Alan had was his sensitivity and caring about other people. He would basically, if you ask me, he stood out from amongst all the other people the company had in terms of this quality. The other good quality which Alan had was about his ability to coach. And he would sit and explain things at great length to everybody, whoever was involved in the work. He would show us how to sample, how to sieve, how to map. The only thing he didn't teach us was how to ride a camel. But other than that, I think we learned a lot. And I think that was the real quality. And as you know, Ahmed, in our culture and tradition, the teacher is a source of tremendous respect. And now the West realizes that managers actually do not have to exercise power or authority or threat or fear. The primary quality of a manager should be the ability to inspire others. And in cultures, people get inspired by many different aspects of a manager. In Pakistan, in most of the Oriental countries, people or subordinates or peers get inspired in a learning environment where they are provided learning through a coach. So here, if you want to really be a good manager, is to be able to coach and to inspire people and to lead in this manner, because leadership requires followership. And followers will follow a teacher here more than a snobbish manager, if I may say. So Alan did that very well. I mean, in fact, he fit in with the culture, with the people, and he generated a tremendous amount of reciprocal respect, you see, which I think is essential in all of these environments, whether you're doing geology or any other project for that matter, basically.
If you like this episode and you want to listen to some more, then check us out on explorationradio.com. And you can also find us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, or wherever you get your podcasts normally. And one last request from both Steve and I is that if you like this podcast and you want to sponsor us, then you can do so on our Patreon page. You can find more details on how to do that on our website, explorationradio.com. Till next time, let's keep exploring.